how are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm so excited that I am with you.
Okay, nice to speak to you. There was a little bit of confusion, and I'm going to solve that right now before we get started. Everything's fine, but...
That's fine. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, you have a dog. I have too.
Oh, hey, Winston, here, buddy. Hey,
Yes.
you want to say hi? I don't know if you can see him. Hey.
Oh.
Hey, buddy. Hey. Yeah, he's a yellow lab.
I have two dogs.
Oh, do you? They're great.
German Shepherd, which is big one, and
yeah,
which is really little.
Oh, that's funny. Are they friends?
So funny together. Yes, they are friends. They're playing and they love each other too much.
All right, that's great.
I don't want to take your time, actually. They said half an hour, so it's better we start. I read your book. Actually, I read all your books, but about the picture book, it was like a dream for me to do it one day. One day, I hope I will do a book like with music, but I'm not a composer, so how can I do it? But anyway, you did it for us. That's really a good gift for us. When I read your book, Wild Symphony, I wrote something like that. Imagine a picture book, not only for children, for all the family. One book includes all details we need in our life. Art, music, poem, fun, technology, tricks for life, emotions, clues and puzzles for eyes, ears, mind and hearts. And the most important thing is that this book is written by Dan Brown. Now I'm so excited to be with you and talk about your book.
I love that description of the book. I hope you send it to me. That's fantastic.
Yes, I will. I will happily send it to you because
thank you.
This is really all the things that I felt when I read your book, which I had really fun. I have so many questions, but I will ask them whatever. If you want to answer it, we'll talk about it. If you don't answer, pass, say to me.
Okay. All right, thank you.
So, first of all, as you know, all the world is in a different times. We're in a different times altogether. So we are like 5 months all together, all the family members in the house. We are doing everything together. And I think we're done for that. But the next step, we're gonna have 5 months or 6 months or maybe 1 year more. So this book is like a gift for us. Wild Symphony is very functional and layered book, considering the hard times we're in right now. So did you ever think that the book will have such a use while writing it?
You know, I didn't know, to be honest with you. I mean, when I write a novel, I now know that a lot of people will read it. Yes. This book, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know, I was surprised anybody wanted to publish it. But now that I've experienced children and adults interacting with the advanced copy, yeah. I'm realizing that it really strikes a chord with anybody who's young at heart. It doesn't matter if they're 3 years old or 93 years old. It resonates. Yesterday was my dad's 84th birthday.
Wow.
And so I went and saw him and I gave him a copy of the book and he sat down and read the poems aloud and laughed and I showed him the technology and he said, "This is great. Kids are going to love this." It was fun.
Oh my God. I know that he is a musician too. We're going to talk about your childhood also, which made you write this picture book, I think.
Yes, true.
And how your dad thinks about this technology. I think he is so happy that everyone can listen classical music in anywhere they are. Yes,
well, what he liked is that the app, the technology is free. That you don't even need to buy the book to listen to the music. I mean, that they go together clearly, and it's much better with the book. But just this idea that classical music is very accessible to everyone. I grew up with classical music. Both of my parents were musicians and teachers, and we didn't have a television, no TV in our house. So we played music and read books. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna come to your childhood. It is like a fairy tale now, without TV, reading books all the time, listen to music, and sit with your mother while she is playing piano and the stages. This is like fairy tale now, but this is what exactly we want now. So as I want to ask this, you advise about your book to all the family, read the book together, dance with the book together, find the clues and do it again and again and again. Did you do with your father yesterday?
We did the codes.
Oh,
He loved he likes codes, and he did the anagrams and the little cipher at the end, and he enjoyed that. I think he'll probably read the book over and over, and I hope kids do too.
yes, about your code love. Yes, this is the exactly thing we love with you, the coding system. And the code means so much for the children nowadays, which was not 5 years ago, for example. And you have codes and hidden little clues in the book. Can you tell about them?
Yes, every single page has hidden letters in the landscape. And so if you look in the grass, you might see the letter S, and you look in the sky, you might see the letter C, and you collect all the letters from that page. And with those letters, if you rearrange them, you can spell the name of a classical instrument from the orchestra. And so that's just one of the codes. There are many codes. Some of them are very hard, but most of them are pretty easy.
So let's talk about your childhood then. It will take us to your beginning to write this picture book, because how was your childhood? As we talked about, your parents were musicians and there were no TV, and you were reading books and listening music all the time. So did you ever think that you're gonna write a picture book for children, not only for children as well, but did you ever think when you were a baby or you were a little boy?
Yeah. In a strange way, I didn't think this far ahead, but I did write a book when I was 5 years old. I dictated it to my mom, and she wrote the text, and I drew the pictures.
Really?
It's called The Giraffe, the Pig, and the Pants on Fire. It's actually it's in the closet right behind me. I have one copy.
Really? No copy?
And I also wrote a lot of little songs when I was a kid. And I liked writing music. I wrote music all through high school and all through college, and loved it. And you know, I actually went out to Los Angeles for 3 or 4 years to be a professional musician. And for a number of reasons, that is not what happened. I ended up having an idea for a novel and wrote Digital Fortress. But even though I've been writing 7 novels, I play piano every day, and I've still been writing and recording a lot of music.
Wow. Will you publish your book that you wrote when you were 5 years old?
I don't think so. It's very bad.
But encourage all the children, I think. Yani, if I think now, Dan Brown wrote it when he was 5 years old. Maybe my boy is now 3 years old, will be, oh my God, I will write it too. And it will take courage for him to write, maybe.
Maybe. I'll have to go take a look at it.
Yes, you will think of it later. So you grow with music, you're still in love with music, and you're still live with music.
Yeah.
What it makes to you? What do you think the positive effects that music give to you?
Well, I mean, scientifically it's proven that classical music played for kids stimulates imagination, intellect, all sorts of things. You know, lowers the blood pressure, all sorts of physiological changes. So I grew up, my mom played classical music even when I was in the womb. Before I was born, she was playing classical music. And I grew up on the campus of a school, a prep school, a boarding school. And there were concerts every single night at this school, and we didn't have TV. So I would go hear live concerts, and they were almost always classical. I also listened to the Beatles and the Beach Boys and sort of, you know, all of that music too. But I love the classical music.
So yes, nowadays a pregnant woman makes their baby listen to music, but your mom do it like naturally, which is...
She did it, yeah, and well, she played guitar also. She was a very good keyboardist, but also played guitar. And so she would put the guitar right on her stomach, so it would vibrate, and she'd play.
Yes, the
and
light
so,
is still inside. It's beautiful.
So I would feel the vibrations, I guess, as a kid.
It's beautiful. What we need most. And let's come to the piece of music you wrote. And I want you to tell us the story that while you were walking, you heard the frogs and you wrote a piece of music. Then the book comes after, because you wrote 20 pieces of music, right? Can you tell us about it?
Sure. Well, it's kind of funny because I was about 28 years old when I heard the frogs. It was a long time ago. And I wrote a little fugue called Happy Frogs. It had a, you know, big fat frog and a very high peeping frog and some frogs in the middle. And I thought it was fun. And I wrote a little poem to go with it. And I had so much fun writing the music and the poetry that I wrote another one. And I wrote about 10 of them, I think, and then printed them in a little book and made a cassette tape. And I made 500 copies of this little project, which back then was called Synth Animals. And I sold it in the local bookstore on consignment. And I sold 500 copies over a couple years, probably.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and but then I forgot about it. And 2 years ago, a publisher heard it and said, like, this is great. You should really do something with this. And so I wrote 10 more pieces and 10 more pieces of music, 10 more poems, orchestrated it for live symphony, and got together with Susan Battore, the illustrator, who is just wonderful. She's so good.
I'm gonna ask her too. One of my questions is about Susan, because I'm really fan of her. I have books she illustrated.
Yes.
I'm following her on Instagram and I love her. When I heard that you are together in the book, I said, wow, what a couple in a child's book.
Yeah.
I really love her. Send my loves and kisses to her. How you become together, and how did you know her or someone advised?
No, this is funny. So they said, look, you've got to choose an illustrator. And they gave me about 100 different types, you know, from 100 different authors. And I don't have children. I don't read children's books. I don't know any of the illustrators, nobody.
Oh
and
God.
So I went through this 100 and I got them down to my 4 favorites. And they said, this is very funny because you've chosen 3 very famous children's book authors and 1 person who's very unknown. And that's Susan Battore.
I know him and I love him so much.
In the US, she's not very well known.
Really?
And I said, well, that's the one I want.
Yes.
And they said, okay. And she came to Zagreb, Croatia, when we were filming or when we were recording the symphony. Yeah. And she sat in the audience and, you know, took notes and sketches, and we had lunch a few times, and she showed me Maestro Mouse and the hippos, and this is what I'm thinking. And, you know, and she was wonderful. She was very open to anything I wanted to do, but her instincts were so good that every time I saw something, I loved it.
Exactly. I love them too. So you take your records in Croatia, or?
Yes.
Who played them?
It's the Zagreb Festival Orchestra, and they're just a very, very talented orchestra. And I had connections with them through the music producer that I had hired to help produce the music.
This is in every page in Wild Symphony. There are wise words and ideas about life, but we learn them from another animals. And the most important words comes from Maestro Mouse for me. You hear me? I'm going
yes.
to...
Yep.
Says, all of us are different sizes, shapes, and colors. If we work together, we can make wonderful music. I wish every person in life can see and feel in their mind and heart that we're all different and we are together like a beautiful music or beautiful picture art if we're together with our differences.
I agree with you entirely, and a lot of the morals and the little messages in this book, you know, come from my heart. And as I said, my parents were teachers, and when I grew up, everything was a teaching moment. You learned at every moment. And these are just little messages that in a very small way, I hope will influence young minds to be more open-minded, to be more compassionate, more grateful, less demanding, and understand that you know, a lot, you know, 99.9% of life is beautiful. Yeah, there's some challenges, but you're here, and be grateful for everything that's going right.
I am exactly doing the same with you. I'm making an agenda every year, and I'm writing little notes inside it about life, about being happy, about graduate for everything. And it makes me really feel good when I read it. But why you just do, for example, every animal says another thing. How do you choose, for example, cats? You said a word for the cats which is exactly fits for cats, but fits for everybody.
Right. Well, I mean, so I feel that you can learn a lot from animals. And I grew up with cats and had kittens and watched them just sort of, they'll just walk along a table and fall off and hit the floor and just get up and keep walking as if nothing happened.
Yes.
People aren't like that. You know, we hit the floor and we complain and we, you know, say it hurts and then we, you know, have to regroup. You know, so it's a great lesson, I think, from cats to just say, look, not everything is going to go right for you. When something goes wrong, stand up and just keep going. It's part of life. And cats are the perfect, you know, animals to teach you that. And the ostrich, you know, how he sticks his head underground if he's stressed out. Well, we all do that. If we're stressed out, we're like, look, you know what? Go away. I'm going to, you know, I just need some time. So every animal has his own personality trait that I hope teaches a lesson.
I'm checking my notes just to feel sure that I'm asking you all my questions.
Okay.
Which one is your favorite character in the Wild Symphony book?
Well, for musically, I like the Ray. I think that's a beautiful piece of music, and it definitely evokes, you know, an underwater scene. And I think the other one, I think for the message, I like Busy Beetles.
Busy Beetles, I know.
It's just cute, and it has a good message, you know. So
my favorite character is actually Maestro Mouse, because he is getting all of them together.
Right, exactly.
Yes, I need a leader like that, which brings every kind of people together and which can give a chance us to make the beautiful, most beautiful music all together. I'm really wishing for that. That's why
Someday.
I like my Maestro Mouse. It's like watching musical, your book. It's like, music, you know. How do you feel about it?
I'm excited about it. You know, it's interesting what happens. You know, you would know as an author, you work very hard on something, and then you're very excited about it while you're working on it, and then it's done. And there's a period of time while it's being published and made and all that. And you don't forget about it, but you move on to other things. And then when the book comes out and you see everybody excited about it, it's like, oh, that's right. There's this great book and fun music that's going to come out. So I'm sort of rejuvenated with excitement.
Your book is going to release 1st of September, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All over the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. And I think after pandemic, I think you're gonna go all the countries with your book and play your music with the cultural symphonies.
Yes. Yes.
What is planned for that?
Well, I mean, it was a big plan with, I think, 30 or 40 countries and really wonderful symphonies. And of course, it's all been canceled or postponed. But the concerts, when they happen, should be really fun. I will be at some of them, and I'll read the poem before the orchestra plays. And so you'll hear Busy Beetles, and then you'll hear the orchestra play it. And in, you know, for example, you know, in Turkey, we would have a well-known individual, perhaps you, stand up and read the poems in Turkish.
Yeah.
And that would be great. So we'll get someone to do that.
I hope I will be I will take part, actually. I really love to. I wish you will come to in our country.
Oh, I love it. And you know what? I have such a wonderful publisher in Turkey and just the nicest family. I love them, and I would come back just to see them. But the
forward to see you. We are really excited to see you.
Well, soon, I hope. I hope
to. About the poems, they're like full of mindfulness. They just, when I read them, yes, don't forget this. I have to read every night to my children these poems, and I have to make them listen the musics, which makes them update their minds and update their feelings about the world. The things that are happening now makes us sad, and we are all close.
Yeah. Yes. So it's great. I hope this book and the music helps kids open up, helps parents open up with their children, helps teachers.
Poems, how you write them?
How do I write them?
Yes. What makes you
Well,
write?
it kind of depends. It might start with a song. I might have an idea for music, and I may start playing, you know, Busy Beatles, for example. I might have a musical idea. And I start putting on the piano. I said, that kind of sounds like Beatles. It's sort of, you know, very tight and staccato. And you know how busy Beatles, they're always working. Every time you see a Beatle, he's moving something. And so in that case, the music inspired the poem. In the case of The Whale, I wanted to write a song about a blue whale. I mean, I wanted to write a poem. So I wrote the poem about the blue whale. And then I sat down and said, like, what would a blue whale sound like? And then I wrote the music after that.
So last 3 questions. First, can you explain us how we're going to read your Wild Symphony book with the technology?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So there's a free app that goes along with the book. And so when you get the book, you just hold your phone over there's a little QR code, and it will download an app into your phone. And what you can do with that app is hold it over any page. Just show the phone any page of the book, and it will play the right song. Have you used the app?
Yes, I use it. It works, and that's fine. But everybody must know that it's free.
Yes. Yeah, it's free. They can listen on Spotify or Apple Music. Yeah. Pandora, all sorts of streaming services will play it. And even from your phone, you can send it to your home stereo system just with Bluetooth. It does that.
Yeah. So you have a social media account, Author Dan Brown. Do you have for the Wild Symphony social media? Because when I read your book, I just thought that maybe children will want to share their pictures. Maybe they will write poems and will want to share their poems under the Wild Symphony accounts in the social media.
Wow, I love that. I love that. I will. You know, the book comes out in 10 days, but things can come together very fast. It's a good idea. I will ask my web designers about it.
Thank you. I will be pleased. So, last question for the adults. I know that you're writing a book about Robert Langdon's thriller. Is it right?
Yes, I am. I'm working on a new Robert Langdon thriller. Yeah. And all I can tell you is this one's a little bit different because in every previous novel, Robert Langdon always meets a beautiful cryptologist or physicist or scientist. He's a very lucky man. But in this book, he starts out and he's in a relationship already. And he's been in a relationship for 2 or 3 years. And it's with somebody who is a character in one of the previous novels. I won't tell you who, but he's in a relationship.
So this is really interesting one. When will it publish? We're waiting for that.
We'll see what happens.
Oh my God.
Probably the end of next year, probably.
Next year. Oh my God. Okay. We will have, we're going to have love with the Wild Symphony, and we will wait for your book for the adults then.
Thank you. They take a long time. I'm sorry, but they do.
Okay. It's so nice to meet you. It's so nice to have conversation with you. Do you have anything to say at last to Turkish people, your Turkish fans, or whatever you want to say?
Thank you. Well, I mean, it's funny when people ask me what my favorite city in the world is, without a doubt, and this is true, I say Istanbul.
Really?
Oh my God. I was so amazed by the history. It's the crossroads of East and West. And that's what I write about. I write about that fusion between worlds. I met such wonderful people when I was in Turkey, and had a wonderful guy named Sirhan who took me everywhere. And of course, my publisher, you know, they're just a wonderful family, and they treated me to these amazing meals. And we went to the market, and we, you know, went to all the famous places. And I just had such a wonderful time. So I hope to come back, and I'm very grateful to have fans in Turkey, and lovely to speak to you.
Thank you. We love you so much. We love everything you write. Wild Symphony is, as a mother, I'm so happy because my children will know you when they are a child, because you were writing books for adults. So this is so grateful to know that my children will know you when they are 3 and 9 years old, which
Thank
is
you.
really good.
Thank you very, very much.
I thank you.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll meet on stage for a Wild Symphony concert and you can read the poems.
Yes, I hope so. I hope to meet you face to face. Thank you for giving me this chance. And I really thank you.
Very, very nice to meet you and hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.